Are the letters SSS on your boarding pass a reason to worry? What's much more dangerous than turbulence? Should you really be the first to board the plane? We're about to figure it out. You might have noticed that most planes have blue seats. There's no mystery here. Airlines opt for this color because it's considered to have calming effects. This color supposedly puts passengers at ease and helps even the most nervous flyer to relax. But there's also a more practical reason. Stains, dirt, and scrapes are less visible on dark blue fabric. Never throw your boarding pass away in a public place. It contains tons of your sensitive information, including your name and frequent flyer number. This in turn may also allow someone else to check your future bookings, change your seat, or even cancel your flights. So the best way to deal with a boarding pass for a flight you've already boarded is to take it home and feed it through a paper shredder. By the way, if you ever see the letters SSS or S on your boarding pass, get ready for additional security checks. Instead of these letters, there may be a checkerboard pattern. Anyway, if you have any of these marks, your carry-on luggage can also undergo a thorough inspection. Why might they choose you for a secondary screening? Some of the criteria are making a one-way reservation or paying cash for your ticket. In some cases, the selection is completely random. Look, your gate is open and the boarding has started. Wait, why are you running? There's no need to hurry. The trick that experienced globetrotters use is to always board last. For one thing, you don't have to waste time standing in line. Then, there are fewer people on the jetway and in the aisle, and you spend less time on the plane. No one is going to take your seat anyway. There's one exception though. If you have a bulky carry-on bag, it may make more sense not to board last. Otherwise, the chances are high that all the overhead bin space will be occupied by the time you reach your seat. And then your bag may end up in another part of the plane, and you'll have to wait till all the other passengers disembark before you can get to your luggage. Before takeoff and landing, flight attendants usually flip a small switch in the bathroom door. This prevents it from flying open when it's not supposed to. With the same ease, a flight attendant can open the door when someone is inside. Look, they only need to flip the lavatory sign and move the knob into the unlock position. Pilots don't worry about turbulence. That's because they know that there is a thing way more dangerous than any turbulence. It's an updraft in most cases. Turbulence only drops you a couple of feet down, even though it might feel as if we are falling from the top of the Empire State Building. If the turbulence is strong enough for the pilots to ask the flight attendants to sit down, the plane can go 10 to 20 feet down. The most extreme white-knuckle turbulence is super rare. But an updraft is a big air mass, part of a storm, or some other weather phenomenon moving upwards. Pilots don't see updrafts on their radars at night, and when a plane hits one, it feels like driving over a huge speed bump at 500 miles per hour. An updraft is also extremely treacherous because it can push an aircraft upwards to dangerous altitudes. Modern planes have a special system that detects other aircraft mountains and different solid objects in their path. 10 miles away from another plane, and a voice in the cockpit starts chanting, "Traffic, traffic." 5 miles closer, and the same voice begins to give pilots the directions. Airplanes can operate with one engine even during takeoff and landing. Both engines failing simultaneously is almost unheard of, but even then, a plane wouldn't drop from the sky like a rock. Pilots would have up to 20 minutes to find a suitable place to land. The way the cabin is pressurized has a great effect on your taste buds. You lose up to 30% of your ability to taste sweet and salty things. In other words, it's not that airplane food isn't tasty. You just don't taste its flavor. That's also the main reason why airplane catering companies add extra salt and spices to the dishes. You know what may help you? Noise-canceling earphones. For some reason, that probably has a scientific explanation. Cutting off all that noise around can help your taste buds. Each of those dings you hear during a flight has its own meaning. In most airlines, a booming sound on takeoff indicates that the landing gear is getting retracted. 3 dings in a row means more urgency than just one. 3 low chimes means some serious turbulence ahead. Crew members are supposed to put away meal cards, take their seats, and fasten their seatbelts. If you're a nervous flyer, pick a seat in the middle of the cabin. Turbulence mostly affects the front and rear parts of the cabin. The middle section, which is over the wings, doesn't shake so much. Pilots and co-pilots eat different meals. The reason for this precaution is very simple. Imagine both pilots having the same dish and getting food poisoning. In this case, neither of them will be able to control the plane. If they still want to have the same dish and won't agree to have anything else, there's a safety net. Pilots don't have their meals at the same time. If one pilot ate the dish and still feels okay several hours later, the other pilot can brave their meal as well. What would you say when asked about the filthiest place on a plane? Nope, it's not the toilet seat. It's not even in the bathroom. Flight attendants warn that you should be particularly careful with rests, seat pockets, tray tables, and seat belts. Experiments have shown that 1/3 of all seat belts have mold or yeast on them. Most tray tables are covered with bacteria. Seat pockets are extremely filthy too, but headrests are the dirtiest of them all. In most cases, flight attendants don't have enough time to change or disinfect them in between flights. If your captain announces that they're finishing some paperwork, it means they're busy revising the flight itinerary, or waiting for the ground staff to prepare the flight log book. That's a journal that contains the official record of a journey. Some places, especially those flying long distances, have secret bedrooms for crew members to catch them shut-eye. These bedrooms, called crew rest compartments, are located either at the back of the plane or behind the cockpit. Such a compartment can have up to 10 comfortable beds where flight attendants can have rest. Plane windows are made of super strong plexiglass that can easily cope with high speeds. And the window panes are shaped in a special way so that the high pressure inside the cabin pushes them against the aircraft body. In other words, plane windows are very unlikely to get broken. Once upon a time, plane windows were square, but the pressure built up in the corners of such windows, making them ultimate weak spots. This means that each square window had 4 weak spots. This made them likely to crash under the enormous stress of high altitudes. Luckily, making airplane windows curved solved this problem once and forever. Such a shape distributes the pressure and reduces the likelihood of cracks or any other damage. Planes regularly get struck by lightning at least once a year or once per 1,000 hours of flight time. These days, it's totally safe. The electrical charge simply runs through the aircraft's aluminum shell. It doesn't cause the plane any damage. But did you know that the airplanes not only get hit by lightning, but they also trigger it? When an aircraft is flying through a cloud, the friction between its fuselage and the air creates static electricity. Sometimes it can cause lightning. That's it for today. So hey, if that pacified your curiosity, then give this video a like and subscribe.